In the spirit and appreciation of LT Goodall, I feel inspired to give my testimony as to what horizons mean to me. What horizons mean to me is a good question, and it can only be answered by giving a synopsis of my life story. I am the youngest of three siblings. My brother and I are considered Irish twins because our birthdays are 11 months apart. Our sister, who is 9 and 10 years older respectively, separate us. Our mother, in a single parents household, raised us in Baltimore City. My parents were married for 10 years before divorcing 6 months after my birth. My brother and I grew up not knowing our father, unlike our older sister. The responsibility of raising two young boys fell squarely on the shoulder of my mother and, unfortunately, my older sister. My mother, an African American woman born in the 1940s, which was a difficult time in America for African Americans. With only a high school diploma, she was not afforded many opportunities. She primarily worked industrial jobs on assembly lines, building components for torpedoes, household appliances, and she also worked for a printing company. Unfortunately, most of my childhood, my mother worked for low wages and she often worked swing shifts, meaning on a 2-week cycle, she would work day shifts from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., evening shifts from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m., and then a graveyard shift from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Her work schedule placed hardships on our family. Since she was a single parent, my mother was dependent on my older sister to help raise us. I am proud to say Lioness raised my brother and me. That old saying, it takes a village to raise a child, is my life story. My mother understood, given her circumstances, she needed to keep my brother and I very busy and engaged in order for us to have a decent chance at life. Because of her busy schedule, her number one priorities were to keep her children busy, so we were involved in activities like Bible study, summer camps, athletic camps, Girl Scouts for my sister, etc. My mother was the queen of collecting pamphlets and looking for things to keep her children busy, with a common denominator: it had to be free. Because of my mother's efforts of keeping her children engaged, the people I've met, the experiences I've shared, the places I've visited, and the relationships that have been cultivated, it shaped my worldview and outlook on life in a positive but profound way. My mother, who is my shero, dedicated her life to making our lives better. She often taught us that it is a parent's job to make the next generation better, and she lived by those words. I got married 1 year after graduating from college because I had to wait for my wife to graduate 1 year after me. Yes, I married a younger woman. I was the last to get married, and I remember my mother at our wedding reception eating a slice of cake. I don't know if she meant to say this out loud, but she said, "My job is finally done," with a smile on her face. What made this moment notable is that she was not speaking to anyone in particular. It was just something that she said. Being a part of Horizons affords me the opportunity to make the next generation better. 16 years ago, when I made a career change to teaching, my life was forever changed. I realized then my ability to influence the next generation and live up to my mother's legacy. The very first line of the song, "The Greatest Love of All," written by Michael Masser and Linda Creed, later sung by Whitney Houston. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Because of the caring nature of the late L.T. Goodall, my own mother, Pearl Hopkins, and all of the wonderful people at Horizons are the reason why this program means so much to me. Achieving a common goal that all children, no matter their race, gender, or socioeconomic status, should be afforded support and equal opportunity to a quality education and life experiences.